Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. Today we are talking about one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Alien Romulus.
What's your favorite scary movie?
While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. If you guys are a fan of the channel, if you follow me here on YouTube, then you know that Alien Romulus was one of my most anticipated movies of 2024. And one of the main reasons for that was because Fede Alvarez was attached to direct this film. I'm a big fan of his 2013 Evil Dead remake reboot and Don't Breathe. And so as soon as I saw that he was attached to direct this, I was really looking forward to see what he was going to bring to this world because I love those previous projects. And so in this film, you have this group of space workers. They're trying to get to this different area on their ship that's going to take about 9 years to get there. And in order to safely do that, they need to secure a cryo bay, which they're going to try and steal from this ship that they think is abandoned, until once they actually get on there, they quickly realize that they're not alone.
Run.
Now, I am by no means a die-hard Alien fan. Obviously, I love the first two films. Those films are classics. I've seen those a number of different times. But ever since those first two films, the franchise has really kind of struggled to deliver a film that has been beloved, at least overall, to the most part, by fans in the franchise. There's been some people that have liked them, some people that haven't. There's been different aspects of the films that I've enjoyed, but I can tell you guys safely that, for me, at least personally, this is easily my favorite film since those first two original movies. And I will tell you guys that this is definitely a film that is made to be experienced on the big screen. I saw this in Cinemark XD. It's one of my favorite theaters that's close to me that I like going to, and especially that theater in particular. But I want to go back and probably watch this in Dolby because the sound design, the visuals, the score are all just fucking incredible. The best way that I can describe this film, to me, it felt like going on a ride at Universal, but in the best way possible. There was a moment in this film where a ship is taking off and I could just feel my seat vibrating, and that kind of happens throughout the whole film. Like I said, the sound design, the score is incredible. It just really immersed me in the movie. And the visuals, they are absolutely gorgeous, from the different set designs to the creatures and just the use of practical effects. I fucking loved it, man. If you guys know me, you know that I'm a big horror fan, and when it comes to horror films, for the most part, I usually always prefer practical effects, and Fede knows that, and he delivers that for the fans here, for sure. And I will just say that Alien Romulus, it leans a lot more into the horror elements this time around, which is what I was hoping for going into this thing. Don't get me wrong, there is some sci-fi elements in here, but I would say for the most part, it's much more of a horror film, which got me really excited. So just a kind of a heads up going into the film, knowing what to kind of expect from this movie. And let's just talk about the pacing of the film. It starts off slower where we're getting introduced to our characters and the world, but once this thing gets going, guys, holy fuck, I'm not kidding, it doesn't stop. I can't remember the last time I was this tense watching a movie in theaters like this. When the credits for this film started rolling, I just kind of had to sit there for a few minutes while they were rolling and just kind of let myself relax because I was so tense throughout the film. And like I said, I haven't really experienced something like that. I love horror films. I see a ton of horror films each year. But I don't know, it was just something about this film, the way, the visuals, the sound. I was just really immersed in it. It was probably one of my favorite, theater experiences that I've had in a while. And I absolutely love that because as someone like myself who sees so many horror films and things like this, you don't necessarily get to experience that often. So when it comes along, you really cherish it. So I was really happy about that. And as far as the facehuggers, the xenomorphs here in the film, they look so good. Definitely the best that they've looked since Alien and Aliens. You get a number of scare scenes throughout the films that I'm sure are going to get a lot of people, so I really enjoyed those elements as well. Now, as far as the cast goes, my favorites were probably Rain, played by Cailee Spaeny, Kay, played by Isabela Merced, and Andy, played by David Jonsson. Cailee Spaeny, man, she's quickly becoming one of my favorite new actors to watch. The first film I think I saw her in was that Elvis movie, Priscilla, I believe it was. That was the first time that I saw her. And then you had Civil War. Really enjoyed her performance there. And now with Alien Romulus, I really like the level of emotion that she brought to the character, but also she has a side of badassery to her that I really enjoyed too. And yeah, I mean, she did a good job of carrying the role here, being the lead in the film overall. And David Jonsson's character, he plays this android named Andy, who's basically like a brother to the character of Rain. And without going into any spoilers, I will just say that he basically has to play almost two different characters in the film, and the way that he was able to differentiate that, I thought was amazing, and just what they kind of explore with his character as well throughout the film, I really enjoyed that aspect. So yeah, those three characters were probably my favorite in the film. And having characters like that, where you care about them and you're invested in their story, when shit starts to hit the fan, you know, you're really invested, and so that just kind of adds to the tension in the film. So, you know, kind of what I was mentioning to you guys earlier in this review. In the third act of the film, obviously, again, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I'll just say that it does take a big swing that I don't think is necessarily going to land for everyone. And if it doesn't land for you, I completely understand, because going into the film, I wasn't expecting that, but at least for this time around, I really enjoyed that. I appreciate them taking that swing just to kind of explore something a little new here. So I really enjoyed the third act, but I can totally understand if that's something that maybe if it doesn't quite land for you on your side. And I would say, honestly, the only real negative that I have for this film is there is some use of CGI in the movie that I thought was pretty obvious. It wasn't something that completely took me out of the film, but whenever that showed up, I was like, oh yeah, you can tell there's, you know, CGI there. But again, it's kind of like a small nitpick. Overall, I had a really good experience with the movie. So overall, Alien Romulus was a thrill ride from start to finish, with callbacks to the original films, but also carves out its own identity thanks to Fede Alvarez style. I definitely recommend this one in theaters. As far as the score goes, guys, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. One of my favorite theater experiences of the year, like I said. I was really looking forward to this, and it did not disappoint for me. And I was lucky enough that I was able to, so I got this actually a couple weeks ago, because Cinemark, unfortunately, I know it's kind of annoying for some people, is they'll release stuff a couple weeks before the film usually hits theaters. They did actually have some of these last night though, but they sold out like pretty quickly. So I'm glad that I was able to get one of these heads. So freaking cool, the popcorn buckets. And I'm actually going to probably do a video like showcasing some of my buckets, because I got a pretty good collection. So that one's from Cinemark, and then I was lucky enough to also get the one from AMC with the Facehugger. Some great, you know, merchandise that they have for this film. Yeah, so those are the two buckets, and which you guys might have been able to see in the video, but I got this little poster that they were giving out at Cinemark as well. So yeah, I'm so excited for that. Like I said, I'm definitely going to do, I think, a video showcasing some of my popcorn buckets. But yeah, that's for another video. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on Alien Romulus. If you have seen the film, definitely let me know down below in the comments. And if you have, where do you rank it as far as your Alien franchise goes? If you haven't seen the film, is this something that you are going to be checking out this weekend? So let me know down below in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.